Hi everyone, my name is Dr. Adeosun Afolabi. I'm a practitioner of Yoruba Medicine and I'm also the CEO of Biotic Abbas Enterprise and Ezek Mossad Company Nigeria Limited. I want to start a series of videos on what Yoruba medicine is all about, and today I'll be doing introduction to Yoruba medicine. Now, what qualifies me to speak on Yoruba medicine? Firstly, I was born into a family, and I'm the fourth generation of a family that has been practicing Yoruba medicine for a very, very long time. And when I said long time, according to what I heard, it has always been in the family. And secondly, I grew up in the system. And thirdly, at least I've taken it as my own major work for more than 7 years ago. That is my main work, apart from the fact that I was born into it. Now, I want us to look at the concept of Yoruba medicine itself. Is the just like any other indigenous healing and health system of the world, Yoruba medicine is the healing and is the indigenous healing and health system of Yoruba people of southwestern Nigeria. Now, I want us to go to the root words or the original language. It means Ishegun in Yoruba language. You translate it as Ishegun. Now, when we talk about Ishegun, a single word in Yoruba can mean several things and can even be pronounced in several ways. Now, Ishegun Yoruba can also mean medical system. Yes, Yoruba medicine is the indigenous medical system of Yoruba people, but goes beyond the medical system. It is a wellness system, which we'll later talk about in this video. The Ishegun is what we call, that is the practice of medicine. That is what we mean by Yoruba medicine. You get it? So, the things we usually use in Yoruba medicine, we use herbs, and we use many other things like that. And Yoruba medicine comes with different modalities. But I want us to look at all these things we use, because when we look at medicine itself, it is translated as Ogun. Just like I said the other time, that a single word can be interpreted in several ways and can be translated and even pronounced in several ways in Yoruba language. Ogun, you can call it Ogun. Now, Ogun means medicine, either herbal or medical. Ogun can also mean a state in Yoruba land. Then we have Ogun, which is a god in Yoruba land, and we also have Ogun, which is long. Now, the word Ogun itself is derived from another word with the same spelling but different pronunciation. The word Ogun is derived from Ogun, long. Now, when we look at what do we mean by why did they derive Ogun from Ogun? Because we believe that the system, which is Yoruba medicine, is a system that is very long. In fact, it is represented with a circle. That is, it has no beginning, it has no end. It is too long for someone to know where it begins, for someone to know where it ends. That where your own where your own ends, that is where someone else's own begins. So in Yoruba land, we believe that an individual, or even a group of individuals cannot possess all the knowledge in Yoruba medicine. That you can only possess part, though the part might belong to, yes, but at least you can't say you know everything when it comes to Yoruba medicine. So that is why the word Ogun is derived from Ogun. Now, Ogun Shishe also has different meaning. When we say Ogun Shishe, two words, Ogun Shishe. The different meaning is that if you are a practitioner of Yoruba medicine, to you, Ogun Shishe means preparing herbal medicines, preparing food therapies. That is what Ogun Shishe means. To a practitioner of rituals and incantation, it means the preparation of charms and incantation. Now, listen to me. I will see the difference here. Now, a practitioner of Yoruba medicine majorly uses herbal medicines or majorly uses herbs to prepare his drugs. Now, because he uses herbs, to an extent, you can call him an herbalist. Now, listen, I know some of you will get me wrong here. In Africa, we have another definition for herbalist, or let me say in Nigeria, we have another definition for herbalist, which is different from the real definition. When people say herbalist in Nigeria, they usually refer to diviners, Ifa diviners. No, herbalist means just like you say engineers, those that deal with engines. Now, herbalist means someone that knows the uses of herbs either for health or ornamental applications. So, an herbalist may not even know anything about spiritualism, about incantation. So, you can say Yoruba practitioner as an herbalist. In Nigeria, we usually refer to Ifa diviners. Ifa diviners as herbalists. No, it is a wrong definition. No, it is a totally wrong definition. Now, in Yoruba language, we usually call practitioners of Yoruba medicine as Onishegun. Onishegun mean you can also call medical doctors Onishegun, but Onishegun means those that practice pure Yoruba medicine without incantation, without rituals, without charm making, without esotericism of any form. Now, we have Ologun. Now, Ologun is different from Onishegun. Ologun is the one that practices the art of charm making and amulet making, rituals and incantations. Okay. Now we now have Ifa diviners, those that are wrongfully called herbalists. No, they are diviners, Ifa diviners. So Ifa diviners are called Babalawo in Yoruba language. Now these three people, they are different entirely, and this feeds Ishegun, Ogun, Ishegun, Ogun Abenugongo, or whatever you want to call it, and Ifa practice. They are three different things entirely. Now listen to me. A Babalawo or an Ifa priest can practice Ishegun, Yoruba medicine. Yes, it's possible. Ologun, that is charms and amulet maker. Charm and amulet makers. They can practice Yoruba medicine just like we have clerics, both Christian clerics and Islamic clerics that are also medical doctors. We have pastors that are medical doctors. We have Mala that are also medical doctors. So they do not contradict each other. So the fact that a pastor or a Mala is practicing medicine, that is the allopathic medicine or medical science, or is a doctor, that does not turn the medical system into a spiritual system. Just like the fact that Babalawo and Ologun are practicing Yoruba medicine in Shegun does not make them, does not turn the system into a spiritual system. They are different things entirely, but a single individual can function in two or even in the three fields. An individual can function in just one of them. We have babalawos that do not know about how to treat people with herbs, and they do not know about amulet and charm making. We have ologun that do not know about ifa divination, and they do not practice uh, uh, Yoruba medicine. And we also have Yoruba medicine practitioners like me that do not know anything about incantation, about rituals, about uh, amulet or charm making, or even Ifa divination. We are purely Yoruba medicine practitioner. So we are purely Yoruba medicine practitioners. We practice pure Yoruba medicine. And if you look at the history of Yoruba medicine, of which I will talk about in the next video, you will discover that Osan, the god of healing in Yoruba land, even we have four sources of the history. One source says that he did not even practice any form of rituals, incantation, or amulet at all. That it was after his death that his followers now deified him. The other three sources tell us that there was a time that he was formerly a practitioner of pure Yoruba medicine, that is no spiritualism, no incantation, no rituals, until he met Orunmila that taught him the spiritual things. So, but the what I want to draw out is that whatever we want to talk, at least the practice of Yoruba medicine started without spiritualism. And if it started without spiritualism, it means that it can also continue without spiritualism. It can be practiced without spiritualism. It can be practiced without esotericism. Now, Yoruba medicine is a system that sees man in three-dimensional way. That is, it is a system that treats, cures, or even prevents and manages conditions. But it is not limited. It is not about the condition alone. The system Yoruba medicine tackles human as a whole, human being as a whole. So, which means that it sees man beyond the physical. It looks at the mental aspect of man and the uh, spiritual. The spirit of man, the mind, the psyche, the physique. It looks at the condition, your mental conditions and physical conditions. So it goes beyond just handling a disease in the body. It handles the whole man. If you have ever seen, or if you have ever consulted a good practitioner of Yoruba medicine, you will know what I'm saying. Or will start asking you questions. Not just about, he will ask you different questions, looking for the cause of the condition to handle, to treat the problem from the root cause, not to just treat the superficial problem, but to treat the root cause of the problem. That is what Yoruba medicine is all about. It has its own diagnostic systems. We have our own methods of diagnosis. We have our own methods of treating people. We have our own methods of examining people without resorting to Ifa divination or other spiritual means. And it is a system that has been in existence among Yoruba people for over 15,000 years. It has been in existence. So it is no longer, it is not an error and trial system. It is not an error and a trial system. It is an experiment and experiment and experiential system. It helps where medical science fails. It is a system that helps where medical science fails. So it tackles man as a whole. It is not limited to the use of herbs. It uses food therapies, the one we call as a it uses environmental therapies. It uses food therapies, it uses environmental therapies, it uses herbal therapy to undo man as a whole. So that is what the system is all about. So you have to understand the concept of a system before you just oppose it with another system. So the practice is different from spiritualism, different from esotericism, and there is no taboo in Yoruba medicine. There are taboos in Ifa divination, there are taboos in amulet and charm making, but nothing like that in Yoruba medicine, except if there are certain foods that are responsible for your conditions. That's why sometimes when you go to Yoruba medicine practitioners, they will tell you the foods you cannot eat again and the foods you can eat until you are cured of a certain condition, because they see, because the practitioners, they see the condition beyond the local manifestation or the local expression. They see that it goes deeper into your spirit, to your mind, into your diet, into some other lifestyle activities that you are involved with. So it is a lifestyle system. Yoruba medicine is a lifestyle system that handles your lifestyle, it handles your diet, it handles different aspect of you, just to bring you back to wellness, to restore your body back to sound health. So that is what Yoruba medicine is all about. And the system, even with the emergence of the medical science, with the introduction of medical science through colonial masters to Nigeria, the system was not totally eradicated, because it helped our forefathers where medical science failed them. And I believe it is a system that is divinely inspired. Because when you look at the content of Yoruba medicine, you will discover that the content is not something that a man or group of people can just come up with. No, it goes beyond that. And some Yoruba medicine practitioners will agree with me. Because when I say it's divinely inspired, I do not mean that. What I mean by that is that sometimes, just like some of us Yoruba medicine practitioners, we have experienced before and we still experience it. Sometimes you will sleep and you will see a certain plant, or even a combination of different apps. They will tell you that you hear a voice that this thing works for this, or this formula, this combination works for this, in your dream, and you don't have any documentation before, and you wake up, you write it down and test it, and it will work for that thing. Do you get it? So that is why I say it is divinely inspired, because I personally have had such dreams several times. I've came up with different formulas through that, and I've been inspired in my spirit to write down other formulas that I will now test. Like, for example, when I started the practice fully, I was having problem with ovarian cyst. I did not know how to treat it. It was later I was inspired and I wrote down formulas. And before I knew it, I started curing people of ovarian cyst. And before, when people called me for ovarian cyst, I will say no, that I don't treat it. In fact, there was a case of a friend of mine, very like a sister to me. She was very close to me. I even tried to treat her that time, but I failed. It was later surgery that was done for her. So it was later, like 2 years after that, I was inspired and I wrote two formulas down. And since then, I've been having success treating ovarian cyst, for example. It's just an example. So that's why I believe it is an inspired system. So thank you, my listeners. I want to introduce a drug to you. It is NAFDAC approved. Uh, it is produced by Exec Musaf Company Nigeria Limited and marketed by Bioceutic Abbas Enterprise. It is called Tetra Power. So its work is to cleanse your blood, your liver, your colon, and for women, it cleanses the womb, uterus. So when you take these capsules, you know that you are cleansing your system, your blood, your liver, and your colon. And it for women, it also cleanses their womb and make it ready for fertility or for implantation. So I would like you to subscribe to this video so that we'll be updating you on new videos that will be coming up. The next video will be on the history of Yoruba medicine. So thanks for listening.